has recorded 919 new coronavirus deaths, its highest daily figure in the outbreak so far. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has signed the largest ever U.S. financial stimulus package worth $2 trillion as the country grapples with the coronavirus pandemic. Good morning, I'm Amit Bakrel and these are the top stories this hour. One more coronavirus case emerged in Nepal, taking the total number of COVID-19 cases to 4. The infected 34-year-old man had returned from Dubai. The government floating a special relief package targeting low-income group and daily wage workers struggling to make the ends meet due to the ongoing lockdown. Government ensures adequate personal protective equipment and other necessary medical kits to be made available to health workers across by Monday. And Italy records 919 new coronavirus deaths, its highest daily figure. President Trump signs the largest ever U.S. financial stimulus package worth $2 trillion. The number of coronavirus cases in Nepal has reached 4 as another individual tested positive for the virus yesterday. The Health and Population Ministry confirmed the 4th case yesterday evening. The 34-year-old man from Thangadi had returned from Dubai and tested positive for the virus. He is receiving treatment at Thangadi's Sethi Provincial Hospital. More details about the youth is, however, yet to be revealed. With the 4th individual testing positive, the Health and Population Ministry has suspected of more COVID-19 cases in the country and has urged all to strictly abide by the lockdown. Likewise, the ministry has made it mandatory for those arriving from neighboring Indian cities to stay in quarantine. The 4th individual was admitted to the hospital on 24th of March after he reported high fever. All the 4 individuals who have tested positive for the virus had returned to Nepal from abroad. On Wednesday this week, another 32-year-old youth from Thadi and who had returned from Sharjah, UAE had tested positive for the coronavirus. The National Public Health Laboratory in Teku has so far tested samples from 802 individuals, 4 out of which have tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. The government has ensured that adequate personal protective equipment or PPE will be provided to health workers across the country by Monday. Earlier, many hospitals and doctors had denied treatment to patients with fever as they feared of contracting the possible coronavirus. The Health Ministry has stated hospitals will not have such scarcity and it will raise people's access to health services amid the ongoing crisis. The government is sending a Nepal Airlines aircraft to China today at 12:30 p.m. to collect the PPE coronavirus test kits, N95 masks, thermal guns, among other necessary items. Private businesses in Nepal have procured all the materials from China to support the government's effort to strengthen the health system to fight against a possible outbreak of coronavirus in the country. The government will purchase all the materials from the businesses tomorrow and distribute them to the provincial governments.
कुनै पनि चिकित्सक स्वास्थ्यकर्मीलाई बिना व्यक्तिगत सुरक्षाको सामग्री बिना हामीले ट्रिटमेन्ट गर्न सम्भावित संक्रमितहरूलाई हेर्न पठाउनु हुँदैन। हामीले त्यसो गरेका छैनौं र जानुस् त्यो हिसाबले पनि भनेका छैनौं। कुरा के मात्र हो भने अहिले देशभित्र नभएको अवस्था, प्रोडक्सन पनि धेरै कम हुने, त्यसको क्वालिटी पनि जाँच हुँदैछ र बाहिरबाट आउने चाहिँ अहिले कुरा नभएको कारणले हालसम्म हामीले हामीसँग भएको मौजादहरूलाई व्यवस्थित तरिकाले प्रयोग गरौँ भन्ने कुरा हामीले गरेको हो। आउँदो आइतबार सोमबारसम्म यो पीपीई को समस्या पनि हल हुने हामीले देखेका छौं। मलाई लाग्छ यही हिसाबमा जाँदाखेरि केही दिनलाई पुग्ने स्थिति छ भने अब केही दिनमा चाहिँ हामी यथेष्ट रूपमा पुर्याउँछौं।
The government is also preparing to collect health materials provided by the Chinese government as grant assistance. The Tatapani border with China that had been closed since 29th of January has opened from yesterday to bring in the grant assistance. According to Chief of Tatapani Customs Office, Lal Bahadur Khatri, the grant is scheduled to arrive at the border transit by 10 this morning. The government is preparing for a special relief package for low-income population and daily wage workers who have been struggling to make the ends meet due to the ongoing lockdown. The Ministry of Finance is doing its legwork to propose a relief package in the upcoming cabinet meeting.
The government imposed a lockdown on 24th of March in its effort to prevent a possible outbreak of coronavirus that has claimed over 25,000 lives globally. The lockdown is bound to make an impact on the country's industrial, tourism and construction sector. This meant the daily wage workers had their source of income greatly curtailed until the lockdown was lifted. Following appeals from the general public, daily wage workers and rights activists, on the fourth day of the lockdown, the Ministry of Finance has begun preparations to introduce a special relief package for the targeted population. Minister for Finance Yuvraj Khatiola stated that in the next 2 days, the ministry would work on the details and put forth a proposal at the upcoming cabinet meeting. Former Minister for Finance Gokarna Bishta has stated the government should not delay in introducing the package as there were thousands of daily wage workers reeling under the nationwide lockdown. The lockdown has also affected regular imports of essential goods and sales of those available. Meanwhile, the government is considering options such as mobile shops to ease the supply of goods. The mobile shop is also expected to prevent businessmen from hiking the price of their goods in the pretext of scarcity. Economists suggest the government should make use of the development budgets and also the fund allocated for Prime Minister's employment program to alleviate the crisis. The small and medium-scale industries have suffered the most in the face of ongoing lockdown. In order to relieve these businesses, the Finance Ministry has directed commercial banks against collecting interest till mid-April. However, the central bank has yet to issue any specific directive on the issue. Given the scenario, there is a call on the government to introduce and implement timely relief packages at the earliest.
Welcome back after the break. Nepal has completed the fourth day of lockdown yesterday. Majority of the public showed much required support. However, there were a few individuals in the capital who flouted the government's directive, riding the vehicles on the streets. Meanwhile, the police have brought into use a special device to arrest such individuals maintaining a healthy distance. We have a report.
The Metropolitan Police Range have introduced a special device from Friday to nab individuals who defy the ongoing lockdown. This is how the police are nabbing individuals who flout the government's directive to stay home except for emergency cases. The police arrested a few in the capital's New Baneshwar area on Friday. In a bid to prevent a possible outbreak of the lethal coronavirus, the government imposed a week-long lockdown starting 24th of March. The government also deployed hundreds of security officials across the country to ensure an effective implementation of the lockdown. However, the security officials have been undoubtedly compromised. The special device was brought into use in a bid to protect them from contracting the virus from those flouting the government-imposed lockdown. The 2-meter-long device helps security personnel from keeping a distance from the perpetrator.
हामी कम्तीमा 2 मिटरको दूरी हुन्छ यसबाट यसरी हामीले चाहिँ गर्दाखेरि 2 मिटरहरु चाहिँ सेफ डिस्टेन्स हो यदि उहाँ संक्रमित हुनुहुन्छ भने हामीले एरेस्ट गर्दा कानुन कार्यान्वयन पनि हुने र हामीलाई थ्रेट पनि हुन्न संक्रमित हुने थ्रेट पनि हुन्न अनि हामीले यसरी प्रेस गरेपछि यो खोल्छौं हामीले खोलिन्छ र एकजना सस्पेक्ट हुन्छ जो उहाँलाई एरेस्ट गर्नुपर्छ उहाँलाई उहाँको कम्बरमा हामीले यो सेट गर्छौं अनि हामी यसरी बिस्तारै ग्रिप गरेपछि यो छोड्दिन्छौं उहाँलाई कुन देशतर्फ लानुपर्ने गाडीमा बिस्तारै हामीले उहाँ छेउदै अथवा पछाडी लाँदै यसरी हामी एरेस्ट गरेर हामीले चाहिँ एकपटकमा एउटा गाडीमा एकजना मात्रै राख्ने गरेका छौं.
A total of 6 devices for rescue and arrest has been brought into use in the capital.
अहिले हामीले अब अहिले नर्मल टाइम भने भन्दा अब को संक्रमणमा संक्रमण परेको छैन हामीलाई यकिन हुँदैन अहिले पनि हामीले मान्छे समाउँदाखेरि यही प्रयोग गर्छौं अहिले आज मात्रै 5 जना समात्यौं सबैलाई यही प्रयोग गरेर समात्यौं.
Some European nations have started repatriating their stranded nationals in Nepal. The government has grounded all the domestic and international flights till 31st of March. Considering the special situation, the German embassy in Nepal was allowed to charter an airplane belonging to Qatar Airways to repatriate European nationals. The Qatar Airways flight took home some 305 European nationals, including 190 Germans. The other nationals belong to France and other European nations. According to spokesman of Nepal's Civil Aviation Authority, Rajkumar Chetri, the German embassy has also chartered another Qatar Airways flight to repatriate other stranded nationals. The government this Wednesday had decided to facilitate the repatriation of stranded foreign nationals. Following this decision, the stranded foreigners were brought to the capital by Buddha Air and Tara Air flights. The rescue work continued yesterday as well, while these foreign nationals have been kept in the quarantine in various hotels in the capital. Some 10,000 foreign nationals are estimated to be stranded in Nepal. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli was discharged from the Manamohan Cardiovascular and Transplant Center yesterday evening. The Premier was admitted to the hospital on Thursday evening after he complained of irregular heartbeat. According to his personal doctor Divya Saha, the Premier had irregular heartbeat problems for long and the team had only admitted him to the hospital as a preventive measure. Premier Oli was kept in observation all day yesterday. The executive chairman of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, and senior leader Malakuman Nepal had reached the hospital yesterday to inquire about the Prime Minister's health status. Prime Minister Oli had undergone his second kidney transplant on 4th of March and was discharged on the 13th. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what can facilitate supplies during the time of lockdown? And options are A. Use mobile shops, B. Facility of home delivery, and C. Manage crowds at grocery shops. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's time now for our special segment, Media Watch.
The nation is currently in a state of lockdown that began from this Tuesday. The government imposed the lockdown starting 24th of March, which is scheduled to remain intact until 31st in a bid to contain the possible outbreak of novel coronavirus in the country. Barring the first day, the ongoing lockdown has witnessed an overwhelming support from the countrymen. The main streets across the country have largely remained deserted and most marketplaces have remained closed. Security has been beefed up on main streets as security personnel at the city's major thoroughfares have urged the general public not to come out of their homes except in emergency. All domestic and international flights have been grounded, while border transits have been closed as well. As per the Infectious Disease Act, anyone flouting the directive can be subject to at least 1 month of imprisonment along with monetary penalties. Around 2 million low-income and daily wage workers across the country have lost their source of income due to the ongoing nationwide lockdown. Meanwhile, the public and rights activists have demanded the government to come up with an effective relief packages to safeguard the livelihoods of such individuals and their families. The government has sadly lacked the tentative data about the number of daily wage workers in the country, which has posed more obstacles in their identification so that they can be provided with relief materials and support. At a time when the ongoing lockdown is likely to be extended, it is necessary to ensure the food security and well-being of hundreds of thousands of citizens who are likely to suffer during this period of national crisis. This is Sarah Sapsanama for Media Watch and Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day and stay safe.